Hi everybody. So in this session I'm going to take you through some postures or positions that help to open and lengthen the muscles around the hip and pelvis. So this can be helpful with back pain where these muscles tend to get tighter, but it's particularly beneficial. I think it's one of the main things we can do to assist the sacroiliac joint. So there's lots of positions, lots of postures in yoga that create opening in this area, but I'm going to focus particularly on the muscles, the quadratus lumborum into the psoas major and the piriformis at the back. But there's lots of other positions. Now the main thing when you're doing these stretches is that you're coming to a position where you're feeling the muscle lengthening kind of through the body of the muscle. You don't want to feel pain into the sacroiliac joint, so you're not pushing it to that degree. So let's start. I'm going to start with the left leg in front. And we're just going to gently slide side to side to begin. So just loosening gently. And already you'll probably start to feel these deep muscles. Mainly I think the psoas and the iliacus, but maybe the tummy muscles, maybe the erectus spinae. And just get a feeling, a sensitivity to the intensity. And then we'll sustain the position with a little bit of a lean to the right side and a turn to the left side. And if you know where these muscles attach, then you can feel you're gently lengthening through the muscle by grounding each end of that muscle. So you're grounding down into the hip and you kind of lifting and lengthening the spine away from the pelvis. And as I said, not pushing to the extent that you feel pain in the joints, but just sitting on the edge of that opening and breathing and relaxing. We need to sustain the position for a period of time. And really we need to do this every day. If this is tight, it's an everyday practice for you. Now you can make this more interesting for the fascia that connects by bringing the arm up and overhead. Okay, and you can try different positions. The Parsvakonasana arm, cactus arm's quite nice, particularly if you've got any shoulder issues. Just respect that by keeping the arm in that cactus arm position. Okay, or I like the hand behind the head position. It really seems to get the fascia that runs all the way down into the hip. Okay, and then inhaling, come up, and we'll twist to the left side. So keep that lovely opening you established in the front of the chest. And if you're already quite warm, you can sustain the gaze out over the back shoulder, but otherwise gently turning the neck, just loosening. And then inhaling back to center and folding forward, hinging at the hips. So bringing the navel towards the cross of the legs, and you can feel with your hands, make sure you're coming forward from the tail. I quite like actually to slide the tail over the back edge of the bolster, so the bolster's supporting more under my thighs. Now if you're a little bit tight in your hip, that might feel like it's enough. So now we're getting into these muscles in the posterior of the hip. Muscles that again have quite strong attachment directly or indirectly into the sacrum. And those of you that are happy to go a little bit deeper, then bringing a little bit of a turn, twisting out over the right knee. Again, be cautious with this if you've got an acute sacroiliac joint aggravation. The opening should be felt in the muscles of the hip, muscles of the buttock there. There shouldn't be pain actually in the sacroiliac joint. If you're a little bit tight in the hips, then you'll find your sacrum's kind of held back, which might aggravate. So if there's any discomfort, just simply come out of it and come back to the more symmetrical position. They're lovely positions to spend some time in, and you'll really feel the body releasing as you relax and stay there for a longer period. So remembering it's persistence, not force, that brings the opening. Okay, let's inhale and come back up and change the cross of the legs. Okay, keep the legs nice and square. You can see I keep my feet flexed, which gives a little bit of protection to the knee. And once again, we'll just start nice and gently with the side slide. And then sustaining the stretch to the left side. So we're side bending to the left, but opening, twisting a little bit to the right. So really trying to keep the body in that long line of the mat. And relaxing. So I don't know about you, but I can feel it really deeply into the front of that hip flexor, into the side of the spine. And again, knowing the anatomy, if you have a little look at where those muscles go, you can feel, you can press down, you can ground down the side of the pelvis and lift and turn and side slide a bit, really to see that you're getting that length through the whole body of the muscle. Okay, no discomfort into the joint, so you shouldn't feel any pain in the sacroiliac joint, no pain in the back. Just a delicious sensation of opening. Maybe bringing the arm, which intensifies that fascial line quite significantly. Hand to the shoulders, another nice option, just to really make sure the focus is on the chest opening. You're not just dragging the arm back. Okay, and then we'll inhale and come up, and we'll twist to the right side, turning the head or gazing out over the back shoulder. Okay, and then inhaling back to center, maybe tail off the back edge of the bolster. So really feeling that you're coming forward. This is really important for the sacroiliac joint, that you make sure you're coming forward from the tail. You can visualize that sacrum coming forward within the ilium, and then just sitting on the edge of that opening, And always better to stay with the symmetrical position, the straightforward bend, if there's any aggravation in the sacroiliac joint. But if you're quite flexible and quite comfortable, maybe just tight, then you get the additional stretch again through that quad lumborum as we fold over the opposite knee. Certainly a little bit tighter this side for me. Okay, and then inhale and come up. And let's just release the legs out in front. Give the knees a gentle, loving rub. And loosening the hips. Maybe coming into a more symmetrical forward bend to close. Again, making sure you're coming forward from the pelvis. Now, one of my favourite positions, again, to release the sacroiliac joint. This is often helpful if you are in a flare-up of sacroiliac joint pain. Any sort of support under the belly is quite nice. Also for the back pain. This just allows really nice releasing of the sacroiliac joint. It's supported, and along with gravity, it's kind of just resting comfortably within the ilium. So you might like to close with that. As I said, there's lots of other postures that open around the hips, but I've found this sequence particularly beneficial. So I hope you also do. Okay, see you next time.